For those who have joined newly, welcome to the third days of TCS NQT Numerical Ability session. So now we will solve a few questions which was given in the morning. So the first question goes like this. Find the least number which when divided by 12, 27 and 35 leaves 6 as a remainder. So they are asking that when a given number, if it is, sorry, one second. So a given number, if it is taken as x, so that number should be completely divisible by 12, 27, and even 35. So in such a way that we have to find out which number it is, and that number is leaving a remainder as 6. So what we have to do is whenever you find least number or the smallest or the shortest, so these kind of words, it is understood that we have to find out the LCM of these numbers given. So the LCM of 12, 27 and 35. So how do we find the LCM of this? So that is in L method that we can go with 3. 3 fours are 12 and 3 nines are it is 27. 35 is not divisible by 3, so we will keep it as it is. And 4, 9, 35, there is no common factor between those. So we in the final multiply all these numbers to get the LCM of this. So we can divide it as or group it as two numbers so that our calculation will be easier. 3 into 4 gives you 12 and again into 9 into 35 gives you 5 nines are 45, so 4 carry 3 nines are it is 27. 27 plus 4 gives you 31. So 315 into 12, we have to take the solution of it. The solution gives that it is nothing but 3780. So this number is completely divisible by 12, 27 and 35. But what we require is, we require the number which is given 6 as a remainder. So the number which gives you 6 as a remainder is, for this number, if we add 6 to it, we will get the remainder as 6. So the required solution is the option C, 786. So we'll move on with the next now. Is there any doubts in this question? Anyone? All clear. Okay, just wait. Thank you. Okay, Ankita, no man. Sudha, no man. Okay. Thank you so much. So let's move on to the next question here. What will be the remainder when 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 to the power of 24 is divided by 6 pi 6, 1. So what we have to do here is we have to check for the divisibility of the numbers. So here, as the last digit is an odd number, we can surely tell that this number is not even divisible by 2. For 3, what we can do is, we can just take the sum of all the digits, check for the divisibility of 3. Whether the sum gives you the divisibility of 3 or not. Or what we can do is just group few of the numbers which gives you the multiples of 3. So for example, 1 and 2, if we group, that gives you the multiple of 3 when we have added it. And 3 alone gives you the multiple of 3. 4 plus 5 gives you 9. So it is alone divisible by 3. And 6 also is divisible by 3. 7 plus 8 gives you 15. That is also divisible by 3. And 9, it is also again divisible by 3. And 1, 2, same goes with the other part of 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7, 8, 9. So this number is completely divisible by 3. So I can tell it like this. And That means if we check that whether this number is completely divisible by 3 or not, we can surely tell the given number to the power of 24 when it is divided by 6561 will be surely divisible, completely divisible, so that the remainder will be 0 when it is divided. So let us check that 6561 whether it is completely divisible by 3 or not. So in the same way, 6 alone is divisible by 3 and 6 is again divisible by 3. 5 and 1 when it is added, it will be divisible by 3. So that means the complete number will remain divisible by 3. So we tell that this complete number when it is divisible by 3, 6561, so both when it is divisible by 3, it's understood the remainder will be 0 here. Okay, Nirmala, Yashasvi. Okay, thank you so much. So the next question is, if a positive integer 10 is divided by 5, the remainder is 3. Which of the numbers below yields the remainder of 0 when it is divided by 5? So let us consider the first statement alone. So if a positive integer 10 is divided by 5, the remainder is 3. So what can we tell that? This we can go with the dividend is equal to the divisor into quotient plus the remainder. So here we don't know what is the quotient, but dividend can we take it as some number n when it is divided by 5, so the divisor becomes 5, and quotient, if I keep it as k, the remainder will be 3. So the number given here is 5k plus 3 according to this expression. But later on, we have to find the number which yields the remainder of 0 when it is divided by 5. So, which needs to be completely divisible. That means we have to add 2 to it so that the addition gives you 5, and we can take the common factor with it. 5k plus 5, that gives you 5k plus 1, where the number is this, and plus the remainder we can write it as 0. So here also we add 2 to it. That means from LHS with the RHS, both the sides we are adding 2. So what is the required number we got now? That is the option C, that is nothing but the n plus 2 here. So this is the required answer. Okay, Kirtana Mahesh, which topic does remainder type of question map to? Okay, Kirtana, remainder kind of questions comes in number system. The next question was, if the diagonal of a rectangle is 17 centimeter long and its perimeter is 46 centimeter, find the area of the rectangle. So here, let me give you the picture of the rectangle. I'm going to draw it roughly. So let me take this as the length and this as the breadth. So perimeter, what will be the formula? So it is nothing but 2L plus 2B, that is 2 of length plus breadth. And so the diagonal part, what we write it here. So here we can observe that there is a formation of a right angle triangle. So here also this is breadth, and this part becomes a hypotenuse, and using the Pythagoras theorem we can write it as the length square plus the breadth square will be equal to the diagonal square. So diagonal length it is given as 17 centimeter long, and the perimeter, which is 2 of length plus breadth, it is given as 46 centimeters. So if we solve this, we will get that L square plus B square will be equal to 17 square. That is nothing but 289. And here we can just take it as length plus breadth is equal to 46 divided by 2, that is 23. So we already know the formula of A plus B whole square. So length plus breadth in here whole square formula will be equal to length square plus breadth square plus 2LB. So here the question is to find out the area of the rectangle. So in the expression, it is nothing but we need to find out the product of length plus length into breadth. That gives you the area of the rectangle. So let us substitute the values. We have already found out what is the value of length plus breadth. That is nothing but 23 whole square will be equal to length square plus breadth square is equal to 17 square. So 17 square plus 2LB. 23 whole square is equal to 529 and 17 square is equal to 289 plus 2LB. So just taking the expression, 529 minus 289, that just becomes 240. That will be equal to 2 length into breadth. So length into breadth will be equal to 240 divided by 2. It is nothing but 120 centimeters square. So the required area of the rectangle is 120 centimeters square. And this is how we solve this question. If there are any doubts in this question, just drop a text here or I'll just move on to the next part. Okay. What is the radius of the circular plate of thickness 1 centimeter made by melting a sphere of radius 3 centimeter? So this is regarding the geometry question where volume of circular plates and the volume of the sphere we need to equate. That means from the sphere we are going to get the circular plate with us. So the volume of the sphere is nothing but 4 by 3 by r to the power of 3, and the volume of the circular plate is equal to pi r square into t, where t is the thickness over here. And we already know what is the radius of the sphere. So radius of the sphere is given as 3 centimeter. So that we need to equate it here. And the thickness of the circular plate is given as 1 centimeter. So if we equate both of it, we can find out the value what is the radius of the circular plate. So 4 by 3 pi into 3 to the power of 3 is equal to pi r square into t, where the thickness is 1. So one of the 3 will get cancelled with this 3. So we are left with 3 square. 3 square is nothing but 9. 9 into 4 gives you 36. And pi and right hand side pi can be cancelled out. So that will be equal to r square, where r value will be equal to 6 centimeter. So the required answer is nothing but the radius of the circular plate is 6 centimeter. Now we'll move on to the next question. Mr. Govind was a building contractor who was doing reasonably well for his business, but was always on an expansion mode. Mr. Govind won a contract with a corporation and his business began to boom. So he decided to employ more people in his project. If he were to increase his labor force by 33.33%, what will be the percentage reduction in the workload of each employee? So, just for example, if we consider there are hundreds of laborers, so for all these hundreds of labor, let us consider there is 100 units of work to be completed. So that means one labor completes one unit of work. Now, for this hundreds of the labors, we are going to add 33.33% of the labors. So that gives you 33.33% can also be written as 100% divided by 3. So that in total gives you 400 divided by 3. So this is the increase which he got in the labors. But those all increased labors also will be completing only 100 units of the work. So now what we have to find out is the reduction in the work of each of the employee. So 400 divided by 3 of the labors completes 100 units of work. That means one labor can complete how much of the work here? That gives you 100 into 3 divided by 400. That comes back to 3 by 4 units of the work. So 3 by 4 units of the work is completed. We need that how much of the work is reducted. So if all of them complete 3 by 4 of the work, the remaining part will be 1 minus 3 by 4. That gives you 1 by 4 of the reduction in the work. So totally what reduction had happened is 1 by 4, that into 100 if you do, you will get it as 25%. So 25% of the reduction in the work has happened when he had employed 33.33% of the labors more. So is this part clear with everyone? So a bag contains 50 paise, 25 paise and 10 paise coins in the ratio 5 is to 9 is to 4, amounting to 206 rupees. Find the number of 25 paise coins. So can anyone tell what is the required answer for this? So the ratios here are 5 is to 9 is to 4. So the actual value, how do we do is, we are taking out ratio means there is some common factor which we are taking out from it. So if we put back that common factor, we'll get the whole product, how much is total of 50 paisa and 25 paisa and respectively 10 paisa. So that means 50 paise we are having 5x of number, and 25 paise we are having 9x of number, and 10 paise we are having 4x of the number. So now what we have to do is, we need to add all these values so that the total value is given as 206 rupees, and we have to find out what is the value of x first. Then we can find out how much 25 paisa it amounts. So here 50 paisa is nothing but 0.5 rupees. So that is, we have it in 5x of number, plus 25 paisa is nothing but 0.25 rupees into, we have it as 9x of number. And again, the 10 paisa is nothing but 0.10 rupees, which we have it in 4x of the numbers. So adding all of it, we get 206 rupees. So 0.5 into 5, we get it as 2.5x plus 0.25 into x, we get it as 2.25x plus 0.10 into 4, we get it as 0.4x, that is equal to 206. And the total value is nothing but 5.15x, that is equal to 206. So x value is equal to 206 divided by 5.15, that will be equal to 40 rupees. So alone x value is, we have got it now, that comprises to 40 rupees. We need to find out what amounts for 25 paisa. That is given as 9 into x. So 9 into 40 gives you 360 rupees. So in total, 25 paisa completes 360 rupees. Okay. So we'll move on to the next question here. George does 3.5 fifth of a piece of work in 9 days. So 3.5 of work is completed in 9 days. We'll calculate in 1 day how much of the work is completed by George. So it will be the cross multiplication of the number. So that gives you, if this is taken as x, so this is the cross multiplication of 1 into 3 by 5 divided by 9 will be equal to x. So 3 by 45 it is, that is nothing but 1 by 15th part of the work is completed in 1 day. That means George takes 15 days to complete the given whole work. So now, the remaining part of the work. Here, 3 by 5th of the part of the work is completed by George. So the remaining part of the work is nothing but 2 by 5 part of the work that will be completed in 4 days. So in 1 day, if we calculate how much part of the work is done, that if we reverse, we will get it as the complete part of the days, how much it is taken. So here it gives you 2 by 5 divided by 4. That part of the work is completed by both George and Paul. So that gives you 1 by 10. That means both of them take 10 days to complete the work. Okay. So now we can get it as both of them are completing 2 by 5th of the part of the work in 4 days. So in 1 day, 1 by 10th of the work is completed by Paul and George. So to complete one whole work, both of them takes 10 days, while A alone is taking 15 days, that is George alone. So the part of work that is completed in 1 day is 1 by 10th of the work by both. And when it comes to George, that a part of work completed in 1 day is 1 by 15. So let us find out for 1 day how much part of the work is completed by Paul. That gives you 1 by 10 minus 1 by 15. So that is nothing but 15 minus 10 divided by 15 into 10. So that gives you 5 by 10 into 15. That is nothing but 1 by 30. So 1 by 30 part of the work is completed in one day. So to complete one whole work, how many days are taken by Paul? That will be 30 days, just the reverse of it. So it is nothing but 30 days. So coming back to the next part. A bus leaves Mumbai at 3 p.m. It travels for 1.5 an hour at 60 kilometers per hour and then halts for 30 minutes. It then travels at an average speed of 1550 kilometers per hour for the remaining duration to reach Pune at 6 p.m. What is the distance between Mumbai and Pune? So what we have to do here is we know that the distance will be equal to time into speed. So here the time duration is given and even the speed of the bus is also given, but it is given as part. So it travels certain distance in 1.5 an hour at 60 kilometers, then halts for 30 minutes. So now for 1.5 an hour, how much of the distance it has covered, we need to calculate. That is nothing but 1.5 an hour, it travels at a speed of 60 kilometers per hour. So the distance will be equal to 90 kilometers. Now the remaining part is nothing but in 1 hour, that is, it has given that it leaves Mumbai at 3 p.m. and it has to reach Pune at 6 p.m. So the time duration taken by the bus is 3 hours. Among that, 1.5 hours that moves and it halts for 30 minutes. That will give you 22 hours. So if the remaining part of the time, if it is considered, that gives you 1 hour. So in 1 hour, the speed of the bus will be 50 kilometers per hour. So 1 into 50 gives you the remaining distance covered by the bus. That is 50 kilometers. So in total, the distance traveled by the bus will be equal to 90 plus 50. It is nothing but 140 kilometers. So option D is the right option here. So the next question. The cost price of 20 articles is the same as the selling price of X articles. If the profit is 25%, then the value of X is. So can anyone tell which of the option here that is correct? Okay, let me tell you how to solve this question. So it is given that cost price of 20 articles is the same as the selling price of X articles. So let us consider that cost price of one of the article is nothing but 1 rupee. So that the cost price of 20 articles becomes 20 rupees. So this is the cost price of one article and this will be the cost price of 20 articles. So that comes to 20 rupees. That is nothing but the selling price of X articles. Now, if cost price of one article is 1 rupee, can I consider the cost price of X articles as X rupees? So now we know the selling price of X articles and even the cost price of X articles. The profit percentage formula goes like this. Selling price minus the cost price divided by the cost price into 100. So the profit percentage is given. If the profit is 25%, then we need to find out what is the value of x. So here it is profit percentage is given as 25 and selling price of X article, we already know that it is 20 minus the cost price of X article is taken as X divided by X into 100. This is completely multiplied by 100. So X goes towards this side, that becomes 25x is equal to 2000 minus 100x. So 100x, if you shift this side, that becomes 100 plus 25 is 125x, that is equal to 200. So x value will be equal to, 2000 divided by 125, that is nothing but 16 is the value. So x value is nothing but the 16. That means the cost price of x articles is 16. The next question. Rishabh Pant made a score of 94 runs in the 20th innings of Australia versus India Test match and thus increased his average by 2. Find his average after the 20th innings. So, in 20th innings, Rishabh Pant has made the score of 94 runs. So, before 20th innings, that is nothing but for 19 innings. So, before 20th innings, we can consider that for a total of 19, assume the average is x. So we already know the average formula as average will be equal to sum of all the values divided by the total number of values. Now we have considered the average of 19 innings as x and the number of innings here it is 19. So the sum of these will be equal to 19 into x. So the 20th inning it is given as 94 runs and it is told that thus after the 20th innings, the test match, the runs of his average score is increased by 2. So after 20th innings, so it becomes like 20 is the number, so the average will be equal to x plus 2. So the same way, the sum we can take it as 20 into x plus 2. So the total 19 innings before part can be told that 20th the total of the innings minus if you score the 20th run, the score itself is given. So after 20th innings, it is equal, we are equating it to the before 20th innings. So before 20th innings, the sum is 19x, and after the 20th innings, it is 20 into x plus 2. From this, if we minus the 20th run, that is 94, we get the value of x. Then we can find out what is the average after the 20th innings, that is increased by 2. So let us solve. 19x is equal to 20x plus 40 minus 94. So this will be equal to 20 minus 20 minus 19, that is nothing but x. So 94 minus 40, that gives you 54. So the after 20th innings, the average will be added by 2, that is nothing but 56 runs. So the option B is the correct option. Now we'll move on to the next question. The current age difference between two persons is 25. 9 years before, the elder one's age was 6 times that of the younger one. What is the sum of their current ages?
So
So
let
let
us
us
take
take
it
it
as
as
the
the
current
current
age
age
difference
difference
between
between
two
two
persons
persons
is
is
25.
25.
So
So
if
if
we
we
take
take
the
the
current
current
age
age
of
of
two
two
persons
persons
as
as
x
x
and
and
y,
y,
the
the
difference
difference
between
between
x
x
and
and
y
y
is
is
given
given
as
as
25.
25.
So
So
9
9
years
years
before,
before,
so
so
9
9
years
years
before
before
that
that
becomes
becomes
x
x
minus
minus
9,
9,
the
the
elder
elder
one's
one's
age,
age,
even
even
this
this
becomes
becomes
y
y
minus
minus
9.
9.
Elder
Elder
one's
one's
age
age
was
was
6
6
times
times
that
that
of
of
the
the
younger
younger
one.
one.
So
So
x
x
minus
minus
9,
9,
if we
if we
take
take
it
it
as
as
the
the
elder
elder
one,
one,
so
so
that
that
is
is
equal
equal
to
to
6
6
times
times
the
the
younger
younger
one's
one's
age.
age.
So
So
if
if
we
we
equate
equate
this,
this,
from
from
this
this
we
we
can
can
either
either
get
get
what
what
is
is
x
x
value
value
or
or
the
the
y
y
value.
value.
So we
So we
will
will
find
find
out
out
that
that
x
x
will
will
be
be
equal
equal
to
to
25
25
plus
plus
y.
y.
So
So
substituting
substituting
it
it
in
in
this
this
value,
value,
that
that
becomes
becomes
25
25
plus
plus
y
y
minus
minus
9
9
is
is
equal
equal
to
to
6y
6y
minus
minus
54.
54.
So
So
shift
shift
all
all
constant
constant
towards
towards
one
one
side
side
and
and the
variables
variables
towards
towards
other
other
side.
side.
So
So
6y
6y
minus
minus
y
y
will
will
give
give
you
you
5y,
5y,
and
and
25
25
minus
minus
9
9
is
is
equal to
equal to
14.
14.
14
14
plus
plus
54
54
gives
gives
you
you
68.
68.
Okay. Sorry,
Sorry,
25
25
minus
minus
9
9
is
is
equal
equal
to
to
16,
16,
and
and
16
60
plus
plus
54
54
gives
gives
you
you
70.
70.
70
70
is
is
equal
equal
to
to
5y.
5y.
So
So
the
the
y
y
value
value
will
will
be
be
equal
equal
to
to
70
70
divided
divided
by
by
5.
5.
That
That
is
is
nothing
nothing
but
but
14
14
is
is
the
the
value
value
of
of
y.
y.
Y
Y
we
we
have
have
taken
taken
it
it
as
as
the
the
elder
elder
one.
one.
So
So
the,
the,
sorry,
sorry,
younger
younger
one.
one.
So
So
the
the
elder
elder
one's
one's
value
value
will
will
be
be
equal
equal
to
to
y
y
plus
plus
25.
25.
So
So
y
y
is
is
14
14
plus
plus
25
25
will
will
give
give
you
you
39
39
as the
as the
value.
value.
Now,
Now,
it
it
is
is
asked to
asked to
find
find
out
out
the
the
sum
sum
of
of
their
their
current
current
ages.
ages.
So
So
the
the
sum
sum
of
of
their
their
current
current
ages
ages
will
will
be
be
equal
equal
to
to
39
39
plus
plus
14,
14.
that
That
gives
gives
you
you
53
53
as the
as the
total.
total.
So
So
option
option
C
C
is
is
the
the
right
right
option.
option.
Okay.
Okay.
So
So
next
next question.
question. The
The
weight
weight
of
of
40
40
students
students
are
are
given
given
below.
below.
So
So
weights
weights
are
are
given,
given,
number
number
of
of
students
students
are
are
given.
given.
So
So to
average
average
weight
weight
of
of
12
12
students
students
is
is
nothing
nothing
but
but
35,
35,
and
and
15
15
students
students
is
is
nothing
nothing
but
but
36,
36,
and
and
7
7
students
students
is
is
nothing
nothing
but
but
40,
40,
and
and
6
6
students
students
it
it
is
is
nothing
nothing
but
but
45.
45.
We
We
have to
have to
find
find
out
out
the
the
mean
mean
weight
weight
of
of
all
all
of
of
this.
this.
So it
So it
is
is
nothing
nothing
but
but
the
the
weighted
weighted
average
average
kind of
kind of
question
question
with
with
the
the
statistics
statistics
1.
one.
So
So
what we
what we
have to
have to
do
do
is,
is,
this
this
is the
is the
number
number
of
of
students,
students,
and
and
this
this
will
will
be
be
the
the
average
average
weight
weight
of
of
those
those
students.
students.
So
So
let
let
us
us
find
find
out
out
what
what
is
is
the
the
sum
sum
of
of
their
their
ones.
ones.
So
So
that
that
will
will
be,
be,
first
first
one
one
is
is
sum
sum
is
is
average
average
into
into
the
the
number
number
that
that
gives
gives
you
you
the
the
sum.
sum.
So
So
12
12
into
into
35.
35.
So
So
always
always
remember,
remember,
average
average
is
is
nothing
nothing
but
but
sum of
sum of
all the
all the
values
values
divided
divided
by the
by the
number
number
of
of
values.
values.
So
So
sum
sum
will
will
be
be
equal
equal
to
to
average
average
into
into
n.
n.
So
So
that is
that is
what we
what
are
we are
doing
doing
here.
here.
So
So
12
12
into
into
35
35
plus
plus
15
15
into
into
36
36
plus
plus
7
7
into
into
40
40
plus
plus
6
6
into
into
45,
45,
that
that
will
will
be
be
totally
totally
divided
divided
into
into
the
the
total
total
value.
value.
What we
What we
are
are
doing
doing
is,
is, individually weighted average we are calculating. That is, we are individually finding what is the sum and we are finding the total sum divided by the total number of students. That is nothing but 12 plus 15 plus 7 plus 6. So 12 into 35, that value is nothing but 420 plus 15 into 36 is nothing but 540 plus 7 into 40 is 280 plus 6 into 45 is nothing but 270. Whole divided by 12 plus 15 plus 7 plus 6. That will totally give you 40. So now we will add all these. 5, 420 plus 540 plus 280 plus 270 is the value. So it comes back to 960 this is. So this will be 550. 960 plus 550 gives you 1,510 divided by 40 is the solution. So 1510 divided by the 40. So that approximately gives you the value as 37.75. So you can just cancel out 0. So 4 ones are 4 3s are 12 and 7 it is 28. So 3 is again remaining point. 7 again gives you 28. 2 will be the remainder. So it is 25. So the value is nothing but 37.75 is the mean weight of the values. So I hope this is clear. I'm moving on to the next question. So find the mean deviation of 10, 9, 21, 16, and 24. So what we have to do is we have to find out the mean deviation of these numbers. Here, mean is nothing but the average itself. So other word for average is mean. So now we can add all these, taking the sum and dividing it by the number, we will get the average of this number. So let's check what is the average of all these numbers. So that gives you 10 plus 9 plus 21 plus 16 plus 24 divided by the total number of values. That is nothing but 5. So 10 plus 9 is 19. 19 plus 21 is 19 plus 20 is okay. So 19 plus 21 gives you 40. Sorry, 40 and 56. 56 plus 24 gives you the value as 80. So 80 when it is divided by 5, the value is nothing but 16. So 16 is the mean value of all these values. Now we have to calculate what is the deviation of it and add all those deviation and get the final mean deviation. That is nothing but, for example, for 10, how much is the average difference? So for 10, the average is 6 more plus. Now the deviation between the next number 9 to 16 is nothing but 7 plus. Then for 21, what is the deviation? That is 5. Then next 16 to 16, it is 0. And 24 to 16, what is the mean deviation? That is nothing but 8. So adding all these values and dividing it by 5, because there are 5 numbers, so we will get the final, what is the mean deviation of it. So 8 plus 7 is nothing but 15, 15 plus 5 is 20, 20 plus 6 is nothing but 26 divided by 5. That is 5.2. So 5.2 is the final deviation of the number. So the answer is 5.2 here. Am I clear with this?
Shall
Can
we
I
move
move
on
on
with
with
this?
this?
Okay. The
The
question
question
is
is
regarding
regarding
the
the
data
data
interpretation
interpretation
kind
kind
of
of
question,
question,
where
where
the
the
data
data
will
will
be
be
given
given
over
over
here.
here.
So
So
you
you
just
just
need
need
to
to
interpret.
interpret.
Interpret
Interpret
in
in
the
the
sense
sense
you
you
need
need
to
to
analyze
analyze
what
what
is
is
the
the
data
data
given,
given.
and
And
you
you
need
need
to
to
answer
answer
all
all
this
this
question.
question.
Okay.
Okay.
So
So
here
here
it
it
goes.
goes.
And
And
one
one
more
more
thing,
thing
we
we
need
need
to
to
remember
remember
is
is
in
in
TCS
TCS
NQT
NQT
for
for
uh, aptitude
aptitude
part,
part,
that
that
is
is
even
even
numerical
numerical
ability,
ability,
the
the
cal says
calces
will be
will be
there
there
in
in
the
the
portal
portal
itself.
itself.
So
So
if
if
you
you
struggle
struggle
anywhere
anywhere
in the
in the
calculation
calculation
part,
part,
you
you
can
can
directly
directly
use
use
the
the
calces
calces
over
over
there.
that.
So
So
you
you
are
are
not
not
allowed to
allowed to
take
take
any of
any
the
of the
calces.
calces, or
You
you
just
just
have
have
to,
to,
you
you
will
will
get
get
the
the
notebook
notebook
and a
and a
pen.
pen,
So
so
you
you
need to
need to
calculate
calculate
in
in
that.
that.
If
If
in
in
case
case
it
it
is
is
given in
given
the
in the
portal
portal
itself,
itself,
you
you
can
can
solve
solve
it
it
using
using
that
that
calc.
calci.
Okay.
Okay.
So
So
this
this
question
question
is
is
nothing
nothing
but
but
the
the
income
income
in
in
rupees
rupees
of
of
six
six
persons
persons
A,
A,
B,
B,
C,
C,
D,
D,
E,
E,
F
F
in
in
April
April
are
are
given
given
in the
in the
below
below
pie
pie
charts.
charts.
What
What
is
is
the
the
average
average
salary
salary
approximately?
approximately?
That
That
if it
if
is
it is
given
given
as
as
approximately, you
approximately, you
don't
don't
need to
need to
calculate
calculate
the
the
exact
exact
values
values
here.
here.
In
In
rupees
rupees
earned
earned
by
by
all the
all the
six
six
employees
employees
in
in
that
that
month.
month.
So
So
the
the
rupees
rupees
it
it
is
is
given
given
of
of
all
all
the
the
employees,
employees,
the
the
income
income
is
is
already
already
given.
given.
So
So
we
we
will
will
add
add
all
all
the
the
incomes
incomes
and we
and we
will
will
divide
divide
it
it
by
by
6
6
because
because
there
there
are
are
6
6
persons,
persons,
and we
and we
will
will
take
take
the
the
average
average
of
of
this
this
value.
value.
Twelve thousand
12,500
five hundred plus
plus
2,500
2,500
plus
plus
7,500
7,500
plus
plus
10,000
10,000
plus
plus
13,000
13,000
plus
plus
8,000.
8,000.
So
So
in
in
total,
total,
12,500
12,500
plus
plus
25,000,
25,000,
sorry,
sorry,
2,500
2,500
plus
plus
7,500
7,500
plus
plus
10,000
10,000
plus
plus
13,000
13,000
plus
plus
8,000
8,000
gives
gives
you
you
68,500.
68,500.
That
That
will
will
be
be,
uh,
uh,
sorry,
sorry,
the
the
value
value
is
is
46,000.
46,000.
That
That
will
will
be
be
divided
divided
by
by
6.
6.
So
So
the
the
values,
values,
the
the
income
income
here,
here,
it
it
is
is
given
given
as
as
12,500
12,500
for
for
A.
A.
So
So
the
the
6
six
people
people
it
it
is
is
given.
given.
So
So from
12,500
12,500
plus
plus
2,500
2,500
plus
plus
7,500
7,500 plus 10,000 plus 13,000 plus 8,000 gives you, okay, the total is 53,500. When it is divided by 6, approximately you will get the value as 8,916. So that is nothing but approximately equal to 9,000. So here the actual answer is 9,000 rupees. Okay. So the next question, even this is regarding the data interpretation kind of question. The following table represents the number of students studying in 5 different streams in 7 colleges. Study the table carefully and answer the following question. What is the percentage of students studying engineering in college C to the total students of all institutions studying engineering? So can you guys solve this and get me the answer? The student is studying engineering. The college names are given here. So that student who is studying engineering in the college C to the total number of students studying engineering in all the colleges. So that means the student studying engineering in C is nothing but 164. So that will be divided by the total. Total is 98 plus 157 plus 164 plus 66 plus 86 plus 112 plus 138. That gives you 829. 164 is divided by 821. So that approximately gives you the value of 0.199. So into 100, if we do, that will give you the percentage of students which they are studying. That is nothing but 0.199 into 100. That approximately gives you the value of 19.9. So this is approximately equal to 20%. Okay, there might be confusions in the ratio part here. So the question here given is what is the percentage of students studying? So we can just take it as 20% in on an average. So that will give you the ratio as 1 by 5. Okay. So now let's move on to the next question. So what value of k is x minus 5, a factor of x cubed minus 3x square plus kx minus 10. So factor of these numbers means that is nothing but f of x can be taken as x cubed minus 3x square plus kx minus 10. So now if we substitute x, here it is given as x minus 5. So if we take the value of x minus 5 is equal to 0, we get the x value is equal to 5. So if we substitute for x, f of 5 will be equal to 5 cubed minus 3 of 5 square and plus k of x minus 10. So this f of x, we are substituting it to 0 so that we can get the value of k over here. Sorry, x, here it is 5 again. So 5 cube gives you 125 and 3 into 25 plus 5k minus 10. So this will be given as 0. Here it is 125 minus 75 plus 5k minus 10. 125 minus 75 is equal to 50 and 50 minus 10 will be equal to 40, 40 plus 5k. So in other words, 5k will be equal to minus 40. It is nothing but k value will be equal to minus 8. So the option D here is the correct option. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. 100 students appeared for two different examinations. 60 passed the first and 50 the second and 30 both the examinations. Find the probability that a student selected at random failed in both the examination. So this we can take it as the 100 is the total and among that there are two different examinations. So if you take one of it as A and other one as B, so in one part 60 passed. So among 100 students, 60 of them passed. So what will be the probability of it? So the probability will be equal to 60 by 100, that is nothing but 3 by 5. So 3 by 5 gives you zero point 0.6. So probability of the students passing the paper A is nothing but 0.6. In the same way, the probability of the second paper passing the students is 50 of them passed the second one. So the probability of B gives you 0.5. That is nothing but 50 divided by 100. And the probability of both, that is nothing but A intersection B, gives you the value as it is 30 by 100, so it will be 0.3. So we have to do to get the probability of a student selected at random failed in both the examination. So first let us find out a student passed in both the exams. So that will be probability of both A union B, that is nothing but probability of A plus probability of B minus probability of A intersection B. So the value will be 0.6 plus 0.5 minus 0.3. That is 0.6 plus 0.2, that is gives you 0.8. So in general, it is both the subject students passing will be equal to 0.8. So in other words, to find out how many of them have failed in an exam, that is probability of A union B complement. That will be equal to 1 minus the probability of A union B. That is equal to 1 minus 0.8, that is nothing but 0.2. 0.2 will be equal to 2 by 10, that is again 1 by 5. So here the answer for this is option B. Next. The sum of second and 19th term of arithmetic progression is equal to the sum of 8th, 15th and 12th term. Find the term which is 0. Okay, so arithmetic progression, what we can find out is the series goes like this. A, the next series will be the first series plus the common difference with it. It is a plus b plus a plus 2d, and it goes on. So the second term value, what we can do is the second term value is a plus d. So the nth term, how to find it is an will be equal to a plus n minus 1 into d. So in the same way, a2, that is the second term value, will be equal to a plus d, and the 19th term value will be equal to a plus 18d, and eighth term, the value is equal to a plus 7d, and the 15th term value is a plus 14d, and the 12th term value is a plus 11d. So it is given that sum of second and the 19th term is equal to the sum of 8th, 15th, and 12th terms. So let us add all of it. A plus b plus a plus 18b will be equal to a plus 7b plus a plus 14b plus a plus 11d. So to get the term which is equal to 0, we need to shift all of it. That is 2a plus 19d will be equal to a plus a plus a, that is 3a, plus 7 plus 14 is 21, plus 11 is gives you 34d. So that is 2a plus 19b minus 3a minus 32, 34d. Okay, 7 plus 14 is 21, and 11 will give you 32. So that is 32. D is equal to 0. 2a minus 3a will be minus a, and that minus 32 plus 19 will be equal to minus 13d, that is equal to 0. So the value of a is equal to minus 13d. So let us substitute for the nth term to find out for which term it is 0. Now, a value we had got as minus 13b plus n minus 1. We need to find out what is the value of n, and d will be equal to the final term is nothing but 0. So that becomes n minus 1d is equal to 13d. D and D will get cancelled. N minus 1 is equal to 13. So the n value will be equal to 14. So the 14th term value here will give you the answer as 0. Okay. Is there any doubt so far? Okay. If there is no doubts in this, now let us move on to the next part. Three partners XYZ start the business. Y's capital has been 4 times Z's capital. Also, twice X's capital has been equal to 3 times Y's capital. In case total profit has been 16,500 rupees at the end of the year, find out Y's share in it. So, X, Y, Z, it is given that Y's capital, Y will be equal to 4 times that of Z, and whereas 2X will be equal to 3 times that of Y. So next, in case the total profit has been, that is X plus Y plus Z, the total profit, if it is 16,500, then we need to find out what is the Y's share. So here, if you have to find out what is the ratio of Y by Z, that will be equal to 4 by 1. That is nothing but 4 is to 1. And here, the ratio of X and Y, that is equal to uh, X and Y, that is equal to 3 by 2. So the denominator, if it is equal, we can take the LCM part of it. So we will reverse the value and check for Z by Y, that will be the ratio as 1 is to 4. So here Y value 4 is there and even here 2 is there. So if we take the LCM of both of it, the values will be nothing but 4 itself. So for 4, it is 1. If here also we need to equate the Y value with 4 means we need to multiply by 2 for both numerator and the denominator. So that becomes 6 divided by 4. So now we had got the ratios as 6 is to 4 is to 1 as X is to Y is to 7. So the total part will be considered as 6x, 4x and 1x. Give me a minute. So the total part of all of it will be equal to 6x plus 4x plus 1x, that is equal to 16,500. That is nothing but 11x is equal to 16,500. So x value alone will be equal to 1,500, that is nothing but 1,500. So we need to find out what is the share of Y. So Y share, we have it as 4x. So that will be giving you 4 into 1,500. That is nothing but 6,000. So the answer is 6,000 is the share of Y. Next part. So A and B income is in the ratio of 5 is to 4, and whereas the expenditure is in the ratio of 15 is to 11. If they save, both save 1,000 rupees each, then what is the total income of A? So here it is given that the income of A is to B is given as 5 is to 4, and whereas the expenditure, the ratio is given as 15 is to 11. But the direct savings value has been given as 1,000 rupees, which will be saved. So what is the relation between income, expenditure and savings is income minus savings will give you the expenditure. So here we can take the final answer for A and B as 5x with the 4x. So what happens is the total income will become 5x. With the savings, it is 1,000. And when it is divided by the B, so 4x minus 1,000, that will give you the expenditure ratio. So expenditure ratio is given as 14 is to 11. So if we cross multiply, we will get the what is the value of x. Later on, we can take the final value of a. So 55x minus 11,000 will be equal to 14 into 4 is nothing but 56. 56x minus 14,000. So here, shift all the x towards one side and the variables towards another side. So you will get 56 minus 55 is nothing but x. So 14,000 minus 11,000 is nothing but 3,000 rupees. So here, the value of A, the income of A is been asked, that is 5x. So x value is 3,000. 5 into 3,000 is 15,000 rupees. So the income of A is 15,000 rupees. Thomas takes 7 days to paint a house completely, whereas Akshay requires 9 days to paint the same house completely. How many days will it take to paint the house if they both work together? So it is same as the previous sum what we decided. So Thomas takes 7 days. So in one day, Thomas can complete 1/7 of the work. So whereas Akshay takes 9 days to complete, whereas in one day he can complete 1/9 of the work. So let us consider in one day if they both combiningly work, then how many days are how much of the work is completed? 1/7 plus 1/9, that gives you 9 plus 7 is nothing but 16 divided by 9 into 7. So, so 16 divided by 9 into 7 is 63. So 16 by 63 part of the work is completed. That means how much of the days is required is nothing but 63 divided by 6. So 63 divided by 6 approximately gives you the value of 4. That is 64 divided by 16 is 4. So it is nothing but 3.9. So option A is the correct option. Completed this numerical ability part. So hope that you all got the answers. So thank you so much for staying till 9 o'clock. Thank you. Let's meet in the next.